Hello, this is Brian Viglione from the Dresden Dolls, and we are cooking in Genville.
Brian, what are we making today?
Viglione Family Sauce.
The family sauce.
Yeah, well, it's basically my grandmother's recipe passed down to her from her folks from Italy. And, you know, the pasta meal was always a staple around my house growing up as a kid with a, you know, the Italian father and all that kind of thing. And it wasn't, I think, really until I moved out on my own and was, you know, buying groceries and, you know, kind of in my early 20s and sort of just, you know, piecing together meals here and there that I was like, God, why is this not as satisfying like this kind of sauce? I kind of was getting nostalgic for, I think, for that kind of home-cooked flavor. And so I remember that's what I think when I really started getting into it, I was like, man, I'm sick of eating ramen and, you know, noodles and butter and like stir fry. And so I started picking my parents' brains and going through like the recipe drawer and found the recipe for, you know, Mama Vig's sauce. And I was like, this is great, I'll take this down. And I realized that it really wasn't as intimidating to start cooking my own food and, you know, kind of just you know, improving different recipes here and there with what was sort of around the kitchen. And of course, Graham Vig was very excited to hear that I took an interest in, you know, the lineage of the sauce. And, you know, everyone's got, you know, the slight variation on it. Like the key ingredients for me, what I loved was definitely the raisins, the sort of browned pignole nuts, and cinnamon.
That's the part that's getting me. That's like, I've never seen a red sauce with cinnamon included. The
cinnamon is, I've heard tale that it was actually like a secret ingredient in one of the king's, you know, the cook chef. That was sort of like the lore that I heard. But it's an amazing pairing, and it goes. This particular sauce it's a sweeter sauce. There's like a tablespoon of sugar, the cinnamon. It's not a kind of garlicky, salty, savory kind of sauce. So it's a different thing, but it feels like home to me. So
sure.
That's why we do it. So this is also, I'm making a double recipe. This generally just calls for like 1 can of each, you know, 1 can of tomatoes, 1 can of sauce, and then 1 can of tomato paste. But we have some company coming tonight, so we're gonna double that up. In go the tomatoes. Now the original recipe called for whole peeled tomatoes. I modified, I like the crushed tomatoes better. So in goes the sauce.
Be careful, I've opened both sides of this.
And boom, right out. I love it.
Oh.
Black olives. I like the large black olives. My father constantly requesting a bowl of canned black olives on the table.
Oh, really?
You just have your certain taste. It's made its way into my sauce. I like the kind of the chunkier kind of sauces too. So, also 2 bay leaves. The raisins. Get those right in there as well. Again, and they just add like a really nice sort of soft, sweet texture.
Yeah, especially after they cook down.
Oh yeah, it's delicious. And this, you know, cinnamon raisin is like a pretty good combo in and of itself. So we're gonna go for not 1, but 2 tablespoons of parsley, and also 2 tablespoons of basil. About this much salt. Or teaspoon rather.
Teaspoon of salt.
Yep, about a teaspoon of salt. And a few good Crank's pepper grinder, and then the final, the cinnamon. And just add the rest of that cinnamon in, which will be perfect. Beauteous.
Nice.
Okay. So then, for the next step, you usually take about a tablespoon of olive oil, 2 tablespoons, depending on how many you just have to use, about like that. So in go, pine nuts. I'm gonna just kind of load them up this time around because it's a big kind of a
big pot of sauce.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my whole interest in cooking started when I started coming back from long rounds of touring, and having a lot of my friends come over as a reunion, and having the meal was like became that great way to see everybody all again. You don't really need an excuse like a holiday to have a giant dinner like that.
Right.
And for me, I started really appreciating the fact that people were so kind of overwhelmed by, to me, what wound up being really simple meals to prepare. Like, I was like, okay, turkey. I'm gonna try to conquer my fear of cooking a typical Thanksgiving dinner, and just do it. All right, what do you need? This, and this. Okay, and once I got through the entire meal, I was like, that really wasn't so bad. Each thing really only requires a few steps. You just make sure the timing kind of works out, and before you know it, people are going, oh my God, you made all this food, and you know, it's so good. And the constant refrain was like, well, I'm glad you like it, but it was really easy. Like, you guys, you could do this too. It takes nothing to do it.
You can tell from the smell of the steam that the cooking steak is good to go. It's not everything stressed into the time it takes to reckon. She'll make a dead excuses, there's excuses for the day. It's just the way the medication makes her.
Ango the pine nuts. Put it on medium heat so the sauce doesn't burn. You want it to draw the flavors out, not force them out. So, all right. So stir it around a little. Oh, yes. It's really delicious, and you can use it all kind of things. This, to me, I've used it with different pasta dishes. I'll put it over chicken, you know, whatever you want to do. Like, it's, you know, it works for lasagnas. It works for all kinds of stuff. It's pretty versatile.
What kind of pasta do you like to serve this on? What shape?
I love tortellini. Is like my
okay.
Tortellini is sort of like, you know, like whether it's, you know, cheese tortellini or like the spinach, you know, whatever. If I could find really great tortellini ravioli, something like that, that's sort of like my preferred thing. Also, campanelli.
What is that?
That's got a great shape to it. You can see there, and the bell shape too. When after it gets soft and sort of enlarges it a little bit, it holds the sauce really nice.
Right, good.
Yeah.
You could probably get a little olive tucked in one of those.
Exactly,
too, right?
the raisins, man. You get the raisins seep in there.
Nice.
Oh, it's killer. Get the. Mmm. That's a nice.